On the array of speakers, we are also going to listen to another partner. A partner that is not SME, a partner that is large, and when I say large, I mean large. A partner that has seen the opportunities where we will get the opportunities. So without further ado, I wish to invite Mathew Kyaligonza, who is the National Content Manager at CNOOC, Uganda, the huge Chinese firm, to come and share with us and speak to us on opportunities for local companies in the Kingfisher oil project. I don't know how to say welcome in Chinese, but at least I can say ni hao. Welcome, Mathew. She she.
Thank you, moderator, for those kind words. My name is Mathew Kyaligonza. I'm the National Content Manager at CNOOC. Allow me to remove this because there is sufficient social distance. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, the Uganda National Oil Company, and our joint venture partners, Total Energies, officials from Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, and all of you invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. CNOOC Uganda Limited is the operator of the Kingfisher oil fields and the LA2 South oil fields, all on the southwestern flank of the Lake Albert Basin. A little bit of the Kingfisher overview is project overview is that Kingfisher has a design of 40,000 barrels of oil per day central processing facility. It has 4 well pads with 20 producer wells and 11 water injection wells. We are also going to have a 46 to 50 kilometer feeder line. And we are doing all this in a joint venture partnership with Total Energies and the Uganda National Oil Company. And Total being the operator of Tilenga, as you've heard, and UNOC being a shareholder in both and taking care of government interests. As Kingfisher, we have unbundled the procurement packages into 4 main packages, which shall include EPC1, which is predominantly the pre-drilling works, which is largely civil works, and as we report, a best evaluated bidder has been given notice, and I'm glad to announce that it's a Ugandan company that should come on board very soon. They should be mobilizing starting December and start work probably by January. That is after FID. As you are all aware, FID happened, and now we are no longer promising, but telling you what is happening. So all these years that we have waited for have not been in vain. Secondly, we have the second package, which is the EPC2, which is the Kingfisher oilfield infrastructure. This is largely construction of the facilities that will host the workers, including camps, feeder roads, and other associated structures to facilitate the workers that will be in the oil fields. Third and most important package is the EPC3, which is the Kingfisher oilfield treatment facilities that will involve construction of the CPF and the production flow lines, water intake station, and others. These are very highly technical projects to take, and we are looking at an international company taking this up, and this is also at the bid evaluation stage, pending approval from the authority. It should come on board maybe probably early next year when the approval comes through from the authority, and we are looking at enhancing national content through things like subcontracting all the 16 reserved areas as per the National Content Regulation 2016, including civil works, logistics, transportation, catering, and others, security and others like the PS mentioned earlier. The fourth and last main package for the unbundled EPCs for Kingfisher is EPC 4, which is the feeder line, and this is the 46 to 50 kilometer pipeline that we run from Buhuka, that is from Kingfisher, to Kabale Industrial Park, where there will be a hub for the ECOP and also the refinery. So these and many other packages that will include drilling, logistics, reconstruction of resettlement houses, and many other smaller packages are some of the packages that will interest you as SMEs that are interested in partaking in the oil and gas sector to get involved in. Now, as CNOOC, we have about 5 main national content pillars. These include, 1, the employment of Ugandans. As CNOOC, we are ensuring that we are employing Ugandans and requiring our contractors and subcontractors to do the same as per the regulations. Secondly, we are involved very heavily in training and development of the Ugandan human resource. We are carrying out several trainings that I'll tell you in details a bit later to ensure that there is development of the human capacity to be able to get jobs in the industry. Thirdly, we are doing what we call enterprise development. This is capacity development of the local SMEs, where we train them and tell them what they require to know to be able to partake. We demystify the standards. We teach them about the procurement processes and requirements. We tell them about key safety issues. As you know, oil and gas is QHSE intensive and others. So we are also doing a lot in that area. We're also doing what we call knowledge and technology transfer. It's a requirement that all our SMEs or contractors that we award contracts to have a component of technology and knowledge transfer to their workers and to Uganda as a country. And last but not least, we are also taking on board what we call community content development. This is where we are looking at communities that host us, especially in the Albertine region, and giving them priority to supply things to do with food, things to do with construction materials like stone and sand, so that they are empowered. And we need them to do the supply of these things in a very sustainable and very economic way. Other efforts to enhance national content that are being done by us, CNOOC, and some of the other joint venture partners include strategic partnerships with associations, companies, and organizations like the Stanbic Business Incubator. I'm glad to announce to you that we have an officially signed MOU with Stanbic Bank Business Incubator to ensure that we help them and they also help us achieve our national content objectives. So my being here is not by mistake. We have signed MOU to support all their efforts in regards to national content achievements and ensuring that Ugandans benefit or partake in the oil and gas industry. Other associations and companies that we are actually partnering with include the Association of the Oil and Gas Suppliers of Uganda, which is AUGOS. We are also working with the Uganda Manufacturers Association. We are working with the Federation of the Uganda SMEs. I'm glad John is here. We are also working with the Chamber, Uganda Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, UCMP, just to mention but a few. So these are strategic partnerships geared into ensuring that we achieve national content objectives and Ugandans benefit from this $15 to $20 billion industry. So after all that, you'll ask yourself, where are the opportunities for the SMEs? Yes, that is a very pertinent question. Number one is the engineering, procurement, and construction of several facilities, the EPCs. Those are the tier one. SMEs, those are small and medium enterprises, have the opportunity to respond to the calls for tender that we shall advertise, some of which have already been advertised, to directly do the jobs themselves as tier one contractors. And these cut across all the 16 reserved areas for all Ugandans and others. Ugandan companies are free to even bid for areas or activities that are not necessarily reserved for Ugandans, like drilling, geotechnical works, and the others. Secondly, the other opportunity is an opportunity for subcontracting. Those are the tier two. So when you hear that the tier one contracts have been awarded, don't be scared and say, we've lost out, we can go home and sleep. The big boys have already taken the cake. You also have an opportunity to share on the cake or partake of the cake or the opportunities as a tier two contractor, where you become a subcontractor of our main contractors. As CNOOC and the other joint venture partners, we require these, and also per the national content regulations, we require these tier one contractors to show us the Ugandan subcontractors they are going to use, and especially for the reserved areas like civil works and others, and logistics and others. So there is an opportunity for you to participate as a tier two or even tier three, where you are a subcontractor of a subcontractor. As you know, we are talking about $15 to $20 million. This is quite a big amount of money. Even if you're a subcontractor of a subcontractor, you can still get quite an amount of money. Then the other opportunity is for the supply of materials for the construction of these facilities. These include things like steel, cement, bitumen, gravel, sand, timber, and others that will be required during construction work. There's also opportunity, fourthly, for construction supervision services, or what we call consultancy services. There's also opportunity for carrying out detailed engineering and construction of civil works components of all the projects I mentioned above. So you can see there's a range of opportunities that you can actually partake of. So, and these are well laid out in our different, on the PAU website, on the UNOC website, and under the different stakeholder engagement meetings that we hold, some on a quarterly basis as required by the law. So what is CNOOC doing to strengthen SMEs in Uganda? That's the question now. One, we hold quarterly supplier development trainings and engagements, and we would like to thank Stanbic Business Incubator in this regard, especially Tony Otowa, the chief executive, for being part of this. Every quarter we hold supplier development engagements where we tell you about the opportunities in the oil and gas sector and how to partake of these opportunities. And I can invite all of you SMEs in our next supplier development engagement that will be held on 9th December. And due to COVID, we are holding it virtually. It will be online and on TV. And you guys will see the subsequent advertisements that will come through, but please save that date. Secondly, we are involved in, to further strengthen SMEs, we are doing what we call heavy goods vehicle training, heavy goods vehicle drivers training and licensing. So why are we doing heavy goods vehicle drivers training and licensing? As you're all aware, a lot of material is going to be gotten from all over the world and brought here. So we are supporting logistics companies with the critical human resource of heavy goods vehicle drivers that are required by training and licensing them. We are doing between 70 to 100 drivers per year. That is our CNOOC. Our joint venture partners, Total, is doing the same. Different numbers, of course, much more, them being even a bigger project. And other development partners are on board to ensure that several heavy goods vehicle drivers are trained, to ensure that your logistics companies, which are SMEs, are able to hire them so that there is a pool of these drivers to actually drive the trucks from all the way from Mombasa to the oil fields, both at Kingfisher and Tilenga. We have also embarked on an intensive campaign to train welders and also certify them to international standards. As CNOOC, we are doing this. This year, we are training 120. Last year, we trained 70. Next year, we might train another 120 or thereabout. So these are all efforts to equip you, the SMEs, with that critical technical manpower that are able to do oil and gas work, especially in regards to welding and fabrication to international standards. We are also training several people, especially the civil works engineers in ECITB, training and certification. This year we are doing 60, next year we shall also train some. And we're also involved in training of the heavy, in 2022 we are planning to train heavy equipment and machine operators as well to international standards so that we don't have these caterpillars and big tractors operated by foreigners from Myanmar and other countries or China. So we are also lastly involved in a couple of knowledge transfer initiatives to universities, Ugandan universities and vocational training institutions, where we are sending our oil and gas experts to train these engineers in these institutions. Yes, COVID has a bit interrupted us because the institutions were actually closed, but we are going to proceed now that they are opening to send these highly experienced experts to train our local Ugandan engineers on hands-on things that they will be able to partake in the oil and gas industry. So these and more are what CNOOC and some of our partners are doing to ensure that we actually partake or SMEs benefit from this oil and gas story. Allow me to thank the Petroleum Authority of Uganda for all the support, because they have they are regulating the industry very well. Of course, with the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development being the mother ministry. Allow me also to thank our joint venture partners, Total Energies and UNOC. And lastly but not least, to thank Stanbic Bank and the Stanbic Business Incubator for inviting us to be part of this successful story. And thank you very much.